So in the last month, the Purple Group stock has went down by approximately 23%, causing a lot of investors to start selling their stocks due to the fear and panic of losing their money, to the point where now the Purple Group stocks are almost reaching the oversold mark. And also, word has it that these stocks are still going to be in the red for quite a while. So the easyequities most talked about company Purple Group reached its 3 rand mark early this year in January, to the point where it almost passed the 3 rand mark to almost 4 rands. And a lot of people actually made a lot of money in the 3 rand price range because a lot of people bought the shares while they were still 1 rand or 2 rands and actually capitalized in the moment when the shares reached the 3 rands. But as you all know, there's always time to laugh and there's always time to cry. So recently, last month, the share price went from 3 rand 50 to almost the 2 rand 50 price range that you all knew of. So in the pages of this video today, we're going to be answering a big question: whether should you buy or should you sell your Purple Group stocks in 2022. So the Purple Group stocks have been doing significantly well since its first debut, or since it has been listed back in 2014, because a lot of people have been recommending the stocks, and we've also been reading a lot of articles about the vice chancellor that bought a lot of stocks and invested in the Purple Group and is basically now a millionaire. So the stocks have been doing significantly well, and a lot of investors have also been piling up in the stocks and have also been buying a lot of stocks because of the potential growth, and we've always seen the massive growth from the Purple Group stocks until now. And as you all know, as an investor, you should always leave room for disappointment and always leave room for volatility, because as you all know, that is how the market works. The market is always up and down. You could never predict the market. And if you are a short-term investor and you've bought the stocks because whoever bought the stocks, you bought the stocks because of the hype, you bought the stocks with no research or whatsoever, this step is going to scare you, because you are actually going to lose a lot of money that you weren't expected to lose because you didn't do enough analysis and you didn't do enough research. But as a long-term investor, you know very well where you stand in the market. You know that the market is always volatile, and now that this phase of the market or this step is not going to scare you. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things to look out for before you buy or before you sell your Purple Group stocks in 2022. So the first thing to consider before you buy or sell your Purple Group stocks is to look at whether has there been any recently published news or articles about the company and its recent performance. Because as you all know, a lot of things like to be publicized, especially if something is doing badly. A lot of people and a lot of companies like to inform their investors and saying that, hey, the reason why the company is doing badly is because of so and so, so you need to be aware of those kind of things, so that you always know how to make an informed decision. Because you can't just make an informed and an uninformed decision and just sell your stocks, because in the end you might lose some of the money and you may regret you selling the stock. Because as you all know, we have seen the S&P 500. The S&P 500 during the pandemic has actually dropped a lot, and a lot of people actually sold those stocks because of the panic and because of the scare of the pandemic and all those type of things. But recently, the S&P 500 has been doing quite well, and a lot of people actually lost a lot of profit in that. So you need to make sure that you look at the news and look at the research and research whether has there ever been any published news, and if there's no news, it's good news, because that means the company is just going through that phase of the market and all of that. So please be sure to look into the articles and always be sure to read up on the news which are being published by the Purple Group company. So the second thing to consider before you buy or sell your Purple Group stocks is to look at the growth of the company. How well has the company been doing? The investors, are the investors investing more in the company, or is the company losing investors? Is the company reaching its goals that is supposedly set out for itself, and all those type of things? And recently, the CEO of our Purple Group and Equities, Charles Savage, actually said that the company is always reaching 60,000 accounts, sign-ups accounts on the Equities app each and every month, meaning that the goal is actually being reached, and the company has been actually doing well because of the management, and the management has not been changed so far, because as you all know, Charles Savage has always been the CEO of the company till now, So those are the things to look into. Those are the things you take into consideration before you buy or before you sell your Purple Group stock, because as you all know, as I've said before, that a lot of people capitalized in the 3 rand mark. When the company reached the 3 rand mark, a lot of people actually got a lot of money. And also the vice chancellor also invested when the company was still sitting on 0 rands, and actually capitalized when the company was reaching 1 rand and all those type of stuff. So this is one of the most not expected dip of Purple Group so far. But as I've always said, you always have to expect a dip, because this company has been doing well, and you can't always be in the good book. Sometimes you have to be a bad boy for you to realize how good of a person you are. So please look into that thing, look at the growth of the company and do your research on how well the company's been doing and how well will the company be doing in the next 5 to 10 years, because as you all know, those are the things to look into before you buy or before you sell your Purple Group stocks. So the third thing to consider before you buy or sell your Purple Group stocks is to look at the management of the company, of how well has the company been managing its finances, how well the company's been managing its customers and investors and all those people who are actually invested into the company. Has the company been changing its management? Has the company been switching its management, putting the CEO here and putting a CFO there and there? Those are the things to look into before you make an informed decision of whether should you buy or should you sell your Purple Group stocks. So those are the things to look into, because as you all know, a lot of people come with different principles. So if you're a CEO maybe of Apple and the next day the CEO of Apple is being changed to someone else, those things are going to change because people don't manage things the same. Principles and values always change. So those are the things to look into, because those things actually take a toll on the company stocks when there's change of ownership and when there's change of management and all those type of stuff. So be sure to do your research on the management of the Purple Group company. But so far, as I've said before, that Charles Savage has always been the CEO of the company and has been actually doing well. And I've also read some of the things that he's always looking into, getting more customers in the US, getting more customers in Australia, and actually making people, South African people, get a lot of investment opportunities here in South Africa and abroad. So those are the things to look into before you buy or sell your Purple Group stocks. The fourth thing to consider before you buy or sell your Purple Group stocks is to look at whether is the company delivering the product that it said it's going to deliver. So the product of the Purple Group company is from the easyequities. So you should look at whether how are people actually looking into the easyequities. Are people actually signing up on the easyequities? As I've said before, that the easyequities are almost receiving 60,000 active users each and every month. A lot of people are getting into the easyequities and a lot of people are getting to the easy crypto and all the type of stuff. So well, if you want to make an informed decision, look at whether how are the other branches of the company doing. So as you all know, easyequities is not only Purple Group, as I mentioned. It's also easy properties, it's also easy crypto and all the other things which I haven't mentioned, the unit trust and all the other things, So look at how those things are doing. Look at also, is it also in the green carpet or is it also in the red carpet, meaning that is it bullish or is it bearish? If you know, you know. But then look at those things, because are they delivering the product that is supposed to be delivered? Meaning that are they giving the investors a ROI, meaning a good return on investment and all those type of stuff? Because it's important to look into those things. Because if I as an investor I'm not getting enough value from the easyequities app, yes, I'm going to sign out and I'm going to delete that account because I'm not going to be getting enough value and I'm not going to be getting enough return on investment. So please look into those things before you decide to buy or you decide to sell your Purple Group stocks. But as I've said before, I think the company has been doing fairly well. We don't need to judge it because of this phase it's in now, because I mean, as you all know, I said before, the market is volatile and now it's in the red market rather. So a lot of people are actually selling it to the point they don't even need to sell it, because I mean, I think it's going to go out of that phase and it's always going to be the Purple Group that we know, which is always in the green. But either way, please do your research and look at whether are they delivering the product that you want, are they delivering the promises that they say they're promising the investors and all those type of stuff. The last but not least thing to consider before you buy or sell your Purple Group stocks is to know whether are you in it for the short term or are you in it for the long term. If you're in it for the short term, yes, you're going to have a limit of so and so, maybe it reaches 2 rands and you're going to sell them or you're going to buy them. And if you're a long-term investor, you're looking at the long term, whether in this company in the 10 years time, how well it's going to be performing, how the company is going to introduce another product into the company and all those type of stuff. So if you're a short-term investor, also look whether how much money are you willing to lose. Also goes for a long-term investor. If you want to lose 250, then if you want to lose maybe 1,000 or 50% of your shares, good for you. But if you don't want to lose them, it's also a good time for you to sell, because as you all know, there's always room for disappointment, because as we see in the SAPs and Abili shares have been dipping a lot, and a lot of people actually lost a lot of money, and a lot of people haven't sold because they're still optimistic of that, because as you all know, we also don't know how the shares are going to be doing in the next 10 years. But if you're holding now, chances are yes, the company is going to be doing well, and chances are the company is still going to go down. So also the other thing that affects people is the emotional tie to money. We are all attached to money. Money is an emotional damage. We are all attached to money to the point where, so if something happens to our money and small convenience rather, we are going to sell or we are going to panic. So those are the things to look into, whether are you a short-term investor or are you a long-term investor. If you're a long-term investor, you're looking at the 10-year plan, and if you're a short-term investor, you're just looking into taking the profits and getting out of there. there. So those are the two things to look into before you buy or sell your Purple Group stocks in 2022. So a great man once said, successful investing is about managing the risk and not avoiding it. So if you're looking into avoiding the risk, you are definitely going to be losing a lot of money, and you're saying, no, I'm going to be ignorant, I'm just going to lock my easyequities account, I'm going to forget the login details, I'm just going to chill, you're going to lose a lot of money. But if you're managing the risk and setting in limits and not being greedy, that's when you're going to be a successful investor, because as you all know, the goal of being an investor is to make a lot of money and to not lose a lot of money. So those are the things to consider before you do anything concerning the Purple Group stocks, whether it's about investing or whether you are selling or whether you are buying. So guys, we've came to the end of the video, and I hope this video has given you a little bit of more clarity on what to do with your Purple Group stocks, and whether you want to sell your Purple Group stocks or you want to buy your Purple Group stocks. So those are the things to look into. And guys, please be sure to subscribe and comment whether are you going to be buying or are you going to be selling your Purple Group stocks. And also please be sure to subscribe, guys, because a lot of people who are watching my videos are people who are not subscribed to the channel, and I would like for you people to subscribe to my channel, because I'm actually aiming for a thousand subscribers at the end of the year. So if you're not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe and comment and like and share with everyone who you think will actually appreciate this information. So my name is Chaba Marakwane. I make a lot of kind of these financial videos, and if you like this kind of financial videos, please be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.